back down here. It's another night. Let's see what we can get done. I think I'm going to work on wiring tonight. Because, well, I'm broke right now, and, well, I already got the wiring. I don't know how it all goes together yet, but we'll figure that out. Yep. Amanda loves little Debbie cakes. Fat kid for life. Alright, so this is what I picked up for the truck. It is a 20 circuit wiring harness with a built-in fuse block. Its instructions, supposedly according to the reviews, these are very detailed. They are colored, and yeah, they look like they're going to be pretty good. Looking at what we get, you get a bunch of your connectors that you're going to need. It's nice, and then we have the actual wiring harness. So we're taking a look at this now. Alright, so it's pretty much just a basic plastic fuse block. Wiring for the diagram, I guess you could say, the quick go-to. They do have like a little sticker that says what each thing does. So, I mean, they're there, I got it. The wiring, everything is labeled. So, AC compressor, 16 is the starter battery lug, oil pressure sender. Going over to the other one, these should all be lights if I remember right. I think this whole terminal is lights. Oh, I take that back. That is fuel sending unit, left return signal, electric fuel pump, third brake light. So yeah, it's a lot of lights. So I guess this is everything on the back half that goes to the back end of the truck. Everything for the front half, so I have my high beam, low beam, turn signals for the front up here. Everything is kind of pre-wired separately, which is nice. It has, I don't know, it has decent quality. I think I picked this thing up for $299 on sale. I think it's usually about $350, $340. So, nice little kit, I suppose. So, I don't know much about wiring. I did wiring some on the charger, which is there. I did some of that, and Joey helped me with some of that. And then Andy, a couple bays down, is much better with wiring. He looked at it for a little bit. So the truck hopefully should be pretty cut and dry. I'm not running anything fancy like I am on this. This has the Phytex and everything else. The truck, not so much. So let me try to get this maybe kind of roughly laid out, get an idea of where I want to do. I definitely got to clean out the interior of the truck too, so I have room. So let's get to it. So I got the bolts just stuck through, not bolted down. Probably going to start working on the cab here, trying to get those on, so that way I can start buttoning up everything I need to, and I know the cab's not going to move on me. Alright, let's get to it. well, fits pretty well. Good reach for my shifting. Steering wheel, be nice to have one, but this is a tilt steering column as well, so it will come down slightly, so that should be good. I have good pedal feel and everything I need. I'm far enough back to where I'm comfortable. I actually have 2 inches, 2.5 inches of, about 2 inches of space between the back and the glass, which is nice. Which is also going to be helpful in case I do want to decide to do a bar back here. I can put a seatbelt bar. But yeah, I think this should work pretty well. Both seats fit in here. Plenty of room in between. I'm going to have to build the tunnel. Let me bring you on in here. This, got plenty of room. Arms kind of a little far, but it will work. Gonna have to build a tunnel here, but I still have plenty of clearance around the seats to kind of build that up how I need to, bring it back. This is probably gonna get cut out because of the drive shaft. Will probably have to go through a little bit of this here. Fuel tank is out, obviously, because I'm running the Mustang tank. So that will give me some space back here to build a bar. I know that the bar should be higher, so the belts go laterally and not down. So because of that, that could be problematic. I'll have to look into that. But I can't have I don't want the bar coming up into the window. I prefer it to be below. But yeah, all right. Well, seats are kind of in. One thing I will do, Joey and I had talked about the fact that there's no reinforcement on this floor. And this floor is, if I'm bolting a seat to it, safety is obviously key. What I'm gonna do is probably do flat strap, 1/4 inch flat strap along where these are going to bolt into to the floor, and then what I'll do is bolt that, I'll weld in that on the bottom and then bolt these through. What that'll allow me to do is reinforce where the seat bolts go, and then on top of that, if I run a lap belt, I can bolt those into the 1/4 inch plate as well, so I have all of that rigidity to help hold me in case of an accident. So yep, safety is key. All right, break something. Yeah, okay, break away. No more. 24 3/4 2. 24. 25. How do we get shorter? 24 3/4 plus 2 gives us 1 digit. That's it. I'm not gonna lie, I think this was a lot of luck that came into this too. Let's just call it for what it is.
So what, you'll get a little bit more once you grind your welds on the corners.
Yeah.
Right now your welds are kind of thick, so it's kind of pushing out on it, you know what I mean?
And his wife is just like, yeah, just take it.
I mean, if it won't be too close, that'd be cool.
Alright. So we built a outer frame out of 1-inch angled steel that it's what it is. It's angled steel.
It's angle iron.
Angle iron. It's steel. Is it steel?
It's steel.
Okay. Steel. I'm not a mechanic, sir. I just work here. And so we built that, which can drop out the bottom. That way, when we put our 2-inch piece of angle iron in the front and rear, we have the frame that we built to be able to bolt to that, and we can drop it right out the bottom in case I ever need to service the tank later on. It's unfortunately taken us all day to get to this for many reasons, but we're here.
But the first time you have to service that sending unit, you're gonna love the fact that you did.
Not really, because everything's on the bottom.
Yeah, but you're not gonna. But you're not gonna have to freaking pull a bed to get to it.
True. Yeah, there's no
You're just gonna
reason.
drop it out, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, this is nice."
The only reason why I'd ever have to pull the bed is if I have an issue with the fuel like filler neck that I'm gonna have to figure out. Everything else should be accessible from the bottom, and if I do have to drop the tank, it's gonna be easy. Some of these might be a little bit more free spinning than others, but it'll hold. It's fine.
That's just nature's Loctite.
All right, so a couple things. First off, tank is in. I'm gonna have to do a cut somewhere back here for a fuel door. Now, whether or not I want to put it down here in the bed, or if I want to try to run it underneath and bring it maybe up onto the side pillar over here, all possibilities. But yeah, also I'd recommend not doing the way we did, because I damaged the hell out of my tailgate, and I don't know how. So I gotta fix that, because now this doesn't even work. It's just more work when you try to take the shortcuts. So don't do the method we did. Stupid idea. Yeah. I don't know how. I don't remember it bending, but clearly it did. That's gonna be a pain to have to straighten out now. Alright. So I'm looking at this. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, what keeps me from just doing that? I mean, obviously not having the tube in there, right? But I could easily trim this down and have that filler cap just be like that. It's a venting cap, so that works. And I could take and technically weld that low on the neck, on the stock neck here. And I don't have to worry about anything. No cutting of the neck, no nothing. Yeah, it's at an angle. A very slight angle. But I don't see why that wouldn't work. Now what I could do, technically if I wanted to, is go through and try to flatten that a bit. That's hitting. And I could try to get maybe a little bit more vertical concept to it, but I don't think I have to. Alright, so this is how the tank looks. Came out pretty good. It's good enough for what I need it for. What I'm going to do now is measure, and roughly 17 inches is the center of that fuel neck there. And I'm going to notice, or mark that on the truck. And I'm going to drill a hole so I know roughly where that's going to be. I'm also going to do a quick measurement to find out how far back it goes. Looking at about 3.5 inches from the frame. So 17 and 3.5. So what I'm going to do now is take a marker and I'm going to mark that underneath. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so back underneath the truck, gonna have to spray for some black widows down here because they're starting to get a lot of nests. And they have a very specific type of web. And they're here. So, before I, scream like a girl and get one on me, I am going to measure this quickly. So typically it was 17 inches from this back frame. But this back frame sticks out 1 inch. So I'm going to go 18 inches off of this. Puts me right there. And then 3.5 inches, which clearly this is very scientific. Puts me roughly there. Sure. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to make sure there's nothing above in the bed, which I'm pretty sure there is. I think the fuel tank's up there, the old one. I'm going to take everything out of that, and I'm going to drill a pilot hole through here. Just a small one. And what that's going to do is allow me to look down through to make sure that that cap is in line of that. Then when I get a replacement fuel door for the top, so I can, close it and stuff, I can cut out what I need to without having to worry necessarily about it being centered, because I can use that hole to make sure that I'm, left, right, up, down, where I need to be with the fuel cap. This is the system. I know I didn't really do a very good job of showing this before, but this is the system that we have. So we have two pieces of angle iron here, welded in, one here and one here. And what that does is going to allow us to have a forward and a back bracing that will prevent the tank, when it's bolted in here, from shifting forward and back. And because it's bolted, it will also not want to shift left to right. That's the best I can describe it. It'll make sense when you see me put it in. A little guy like that, for you to be able to look down and see whether or not you're in the right spot or not. Get here, bugs. The joys of working at night. Alright. Let's get to tanking. Maybe not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but it's alright. So in theory, it should push back up into place, just like that. And then I just have to figure out how to put bolts in it. With both my hands up here. Alright. Don't fall. Okay. 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 Come on. Come on. You're right there. Oh. Okay. Drops, it's gonna hurt. Oh, on my face. Thread you on. Yes. Just like, not gonna lie, Alright, thought it was easier than that the first time I did this. Alright. Well, it's real hard to see, but that right there is above fuel line. So, perfect. Slightly off. I think I'm like maybe a ½ inch too far forward. Doesn't matter. Gives me a pretty good idea. I'll go from there. Alright, plenty of room in there now. So, let's get that kind of cleaned up a little bit, and we'll start switching over to something else. All right. Now that I can be inside the truck and not be cutting my knees up on everything. Hey, there's my safety glasses. Anyway, so now I'm gonna start running basic wiring. I wanna build a box for this. So it can kind of be more together underneath. It'd be nice if I could get like a little plastic box to kind of mount this in and then mount that. Kind of what I did with the charger. This is the spaghetti I'm gonna have to deal with. Now, originally, I wasn't too concerned about this. I'm starting to get that way now. So, wiring is what we're gonna work on. Luckily, this is grouped together appropriately. So, this is all my headlight stuff. Man, there's a lot of bugs and flies and things in here. Column group, which is nice because GM column, GM universal column, GM wiring harness. So this should be a plug and play as long as I have a connector for it, I guess. Plug it in. So I'll have to pin that and then do that. But for the most part, I think we can figure this out. Alright, we'll clean up, pick up a little bit, and go sleep. I still got to do with real life. Alright, let's do this. Alright, it is a different day down here than I was last recording. I tried to record earlier, but because it's so hot here, my camera overheated. So, yeah, when I'm outside here, I gotta wait for practically the sun to go down before it gets reasonable, so I can actually record. Alright, so what am I working on? My fuel door. So, I got it kind of in how I want. Got it in kind of how I want. It's definitely not the most beautiful, however, it will work. Of course, I didn't bring my camera tripod. So, what did I do on this to get it to be where it's at? Well, originally I marked the size of the door on the floor. I used my pilot hole to kind of line it up where I wanted it to be, and then I just cut it out. Now here's the thing, this bed, as you can tell, is beat up. This is not a very straight bed, and in turn, it doesn't want to lay flat. So me cutting it, it just kind of makes it worse, and yeah. So what I ended up doing was going through and welding just a bunch of spots around it to get it in place where I want it to. And then I ended up going in with all metal, which I've used before on some things, And I'm just kind of smoothing it out and getting it closer to the position I want it to sit at. I'm just going to paint it. I also welded the hinges, as you can tell, and then also one of the bolts broke. But I will post a link in the description where I bought this. I can't remember. It's $100. Worth it. Be great if they gave me better hardware though. Alright, let's get what I need kind of cleaned down on it, and then we'll get it painted. So, on other important news, effective today, the day that I'm recording this, Duct Tape Jegs 2023 became available for you to sign up for. So, I did. For that I did. And in turn, now the pressure's on, because otherwise I'm just throwing money, wasting money. So I'm going to be hauling a lot on that to get that done. And yeah, so Duct Tape Jegs 2023, it's the goal. It's still there. Signed up for it. How much this is get it done, you know? It's not that easy though. You know that. We know that. Alright. When measuring for at least the American powertrain, transmissions, mating drive shaft, they tell you to measure it off of a machined surface. So don't go up here, you go off of here. This is your main point in which you're going to measure off of, going back for your drive shaft. So mine is showing 67 and like 9/16, give or take. Alright, I think that's gonna be a hold point for me. I was only able to get so much done, but I think this is a good stopping point. Just to recap kind of what we did, or what I remember we did, maybe I didn't get in the last video. I don't remember. I think I got brake booster and the hydraulic clutch in. So up front, mainly just wiring. Trying to get rid of all the old wiring and all this new stuff in. Inside here is where the money was. We did a lot of work inside here. So we got the column stuck. Got fuse panel mounted. I got the racing seat brackets installed going from there. Cut the old, hello rain, cut those out for the seat brackets themselves. I will have to do some welding to get that floor in better. And let's not forget, I also got the rain coming. All right, I guess that's where we're going to end this one. Yep. All right, if you guys like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe. I will promise, I will continue working on the 70 Charger. I love this car, I hate this car, but I love it more than I hate it most of the time. And in turn, I want to continue building it. But right now, if I'm going to crash a car at Duct Tape Jegs, I want it to be the truck, not this. So that's why that's getting built so fast. But if you guys like what you see, you want to support me and my build and the projects that we're doing, hit like, hit subscribe, share it with a buddy, someone who might like it, someone who might not, I don't know. But as always, keep building.